It is time for another viewer match, and what I got for you today is a Terran versus Zerg played in Gold League, where apparently the Terran player is sending an SCV awfully early on into this match to the other end of the map. Spawning in the top left corner on Abyssal Reef, we've got none other than the red Terran player known by the nickname of Sherman. Actually, oh, I thought for a second he was sending the second SCV as well, but nope, that one is just gonna simply build a depot, Loko. Calm down, calm down. We'll keep an eye out on that first SCV in just a second, because his opponent, spawning in the bottom right, goes by the nickname of Syre, and he is playing with the blue drones thus far. Looks like Sherm, though, is gonna go for something a little bit cheesy in this particular match. Already bringing that SCV to the other end, actually to the third base location right here, or from his opponent, rather. I guess he's planning to go for maybe... I'm not entirely sure, actually. Normally, if you're gonna go for, like, Marines, you're gonna build, you know, not a refinery. And if you want to go for Reapers, you're gonna send a second SCV. So I'm not entirely sure what Sherman's actually got in store for us. We'll keep an eye out on what exactly he is gonna build. There is a second barracks going down right now as well, so this could potentially still be Reapers. We'll see exactly what Sherm has planned for this match in just a little bit. Syre, in the meantime, is going for the hatchery on the low ground, going for the gas geyser follow-up, and I'm sure that is gonna be a spawning pool very shortly as well. Nice little position right there. One time. I want to be accurate here with my spawning pool positioning. One time. Come on, you got the minerals. Oh, no, he's gonna build it right over there. I've been doing this every single game, and I've never been right. I would build it right over there. Anyway, Syre already getting that hatch gas pool setup going. Of course, this will allow him to get a very early zerking speed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna get units out really early on. Now, the first barracks has finished up. What exactly do you have in... Oh, Sherm is gonna build a... Oh, he's gonna build a factory. So he's gonna follow this up. Yeah, he's gonna follow this up with a reactor as well. So that leaves a couple of different options. Considering he now also took the second gas geyser in the main, it's not gonna be Hellions. It could still be Widow Mines, but I think that it may very well be a Cyclone Rush. Cyclone Rushes are extremely uncommon, and Zerglings, of course, are pretty good against it, but Cyclones still deal a heck of a lot of damage to the other, you know, the other player, in particular early on, when there are not that many units out. Now, Sherm is indeed getting himself that second barracks as well. I was just gonna say, maybe this is just a glorified wall-off at this point, but no, he is producing a couple of... No, he was producing a single Marine there, but he ended up canceling that at the last second. I think he needs the minerals or something to switch over right here, because otherwise, he's not gonna be capable of affording anything. Considering he's already at 250 gas, this almost has to be a Cyclone. Is he gonna go Cyclones? Please build a Cyclone, Sherm. I want to see... Oh my god, there we go. There we go. Sherm is indeed building a Cyclone on the other end of the map at the 2.5-minute mark. Now, Syre, in the meantime, he's getting himself that double queen. He's also following this up with a second Evo chamber, or a first Evo chamber, rather, but a second gas geyser already. That is really early here. I wonder if he's planning to go for maybe a Ravagers, or really what he's looking to research here in that evolution chamber. We'll have to keep an eye out on that as well, because there's gonna be an awful lot of units across the map. Now, instead of opting for the second... Oh, no. Sherm, what are you doing? Instead of opting for the second Cyclone right off the get-go, apparently a bunker gets built here as well. So Sherm, he may very well be looking to like push into his opponent's natural and then back out towards that bunker. I'm not entirely sure. He's building an awful lot of stuff here though, and you know, at this point, I mean, Syre has absolutely no idea. He has scouted on the other end of the map that there is no expansion out. He will shortly be able to see as well that there is just a standard wall here at the top of the ramp, so he's not gonna suspect a single thing. Now, first Cyclone is already out. Two more are just about to join this party as well. Marines are now also being built from the barracks on the other end of the map, and they're rallied straight into the bunker. So Sherm, I guess he's building a bit of a wall as well. So Sherm is looking to get really aggressive very, very shortly. Overload speed already done. +1 attack going down right now for Syre as well. So I guess he's looking to maybe go for an overload drop here. But still, this is going to be tough because there's going to be a lot of Cyclones at his front door. So many drones already though, and with proper larva management, he's... No. They do so much damage to buildings, dude. You can't pull that off. Nope. They do bonus damage against armored, sir. At the very least, I'm pretty sure they do. They murder things in a very short amount of time. The thing is, against a lot of little dudes, they're not particularly amazing. If you manage to get this around on these Zerg, or on these Cyclones, rather, you can do a lot of damage. But at the same time, too, Widow Mines have now joined this party. And while apparently it still has not given up on the quest to build a spine crawler in this match, he's gonna end up losing a lot of stuff. Love this positioning actually right here on that Widow Mine. He's going to be capable of dealing quite a bit of damage here. He should have cancelled that until the units came out. Regardless though, these units are going to have a hard time getting into the main base because so much damage has already been dealt here. Spinecrawler will finish up here, and I wonder if Sherm really wants to continue to push. I mean, I think he's better off just simply creating a second expansion, or at the very least, to start mining from his natural here shortly, because moving up that ramp against mass Zergling is a little bit scary, in particular with +1 attack, which is turning out to be a huge help here. He's trying to set up this around there. Beautiful move by the blue Zerg player. He's gonna try and knock down all of these Cyclones, and he will be able to do so successfully. That's exactly what I was mentioning. Now, not gonna lie, +1 attack on Zerglings makes them so much more powerful, in particular against units like that one right there. Still has to be careful though, there are Widow Mines on the low ground. Indeed, sending down the Zerglings in individual ones is probably going to be your best bet. Sherm is actually trying to take a hatchery down towards the 3rd expansion, but I highly doubt that that is gonna happen. 2 more Cyclones are joining this party right now. One will get picked off almost immediately, and I think that the second one will also not live to tell the tale, maybe, potentially. Nope, it will. I still underestimate Cyclones as well. They do so much damage in such a short amount of time. Now, eventually, indeed, that command center does go down inside of the main of the Terran player. So he's not quite giving up just yet. The SCV that I think initially built all of these buildings as well is now repairing the hurt Cyclone. The one that is gonna tilt to tail. And once again, Zerglings are leapfrogging down the ramp just to trigger those Widow Mines so he does not accidentally step in them a little bit later. Second hatchery now going down, but not really at a position where you want it as Zerg. Instead, he has put it in the main base and is now also adding on a lair. I wonder what Syre's follow-up is going to be though, because he's going to be contained quite heavily here. I mean, Cyclones still do a lot of damage, right? They're still pretty dang good, and at this point, the Overlord will scout out exactly what's going on, and it will have to pay for that with its life. This is going to be a tough position to break. Even though he managed to surround all of those Cyclones really nicely, he's going to be up against quite a bit of economy, because even a 3rd command center now gets added on. Syre apparently having the time of his life. Ha 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 ha, he says. WTF, I'm not entirely sure what that is all about. I guess he is assuming that he's in a really great position, when in reality he's really not. Syre's not in that particularly, you know, he's not in that great of a spot here. You will have to try and surround these Cyclones somehow. But making enough units out of just a single base with a single queen is going to be really tough. Drone is moving down now. I'm not entirely sure what that one's got in mind for us. I think he may even be looking to maybe potentially take a 3rd macro hatch. I do like that move. I mean, I'm a big fan of daring to do that. But at this point, 2 more Widow Mines are down on the low ground as well. And this is going to be tough. +2 armor being researched, which doesn't really do a whole lot, but here we go. I love that. That's actually so smart. Syre going for that Nydus network, and he's looking to potentially fight his opponent from the inside out. Now, you cannot lose Overlords like this. These Overlords are going to be very, very important to have some vision to put down these units as well. SCVs have been loaded up, however, into that 3rd command center, and they're going to be loaded down towards the low ground. A lot of economy will be built here for the red Terran player, and he is in a great position to take this game right now. However, the Nydus network, he's going to try and poop creep here. Not quite making it. The Nydus network is going to be extremely important, because it's going to be the one way that Syre can claw himself back into this game. So far, he's looking a little bit, you know, he's looking a little bit stuck. But you got to keep in mind, while Sherm has got a very nice supply lead, all of the army is on the other end of the map, simply trying to contain the Zerg. Nydus network has been loaded up. We see nothing just yet. He's gonna put down the first Nydus canal on the other end of the map right here at the 3rd base location. Not sure if that is going to be the most beneficial position. I think that Sherm may very well be worried right here to go up against Mutalis, because he's adding on 2 reactors right here on starports as well. But here we go. Nydus Wormrottor is out. The command center immediately loads up the SCVs once again. One of the benefits right there of not going for a super quick orbital command, and he is gonna be capable to just simply leapfrog those units out towards the high ground once again. I would really love to see a Nydus inside of the main though, but this is gonna be a tough one. Sherm should be able to kill this maybe, potentially. I would really like to actually see him bring the queen. If he could transfuse the building before it really deals a lot of damage, that would be great as well. But the Marines, where'd they go? They actually just moved over. He does not realize that there's a Nydus worm inside of his main base. Units, however, not quite unloading just yet. Come on, Syre, get in there, get in there. Move him out of there. There we go. He's going to be capable of unloading most of these Zerg units inside of the main base of the Terran. He stopped unloading, however. He's got to be very careful. Zerglings are indeed picking up the last of these Marines. And all of a sudden, the swarm has arrived. It has arrived inside of the main of the Terran player. There are still a lot of bases up. And actually, there's a planetary fortress here in the natural. But with Hydralisk joining this party as well, I wouldn't be surprised that, you know, all of the Terran buildings will end up falling here. Look at this setup. This is absolutely brilliant right now for the Zerg. Nice response, and for the first time, he's looking like he may be in an alright position. At the same time, the Cyclones apparently have made their way inside of the main as well of the Zerg. They've done a bunch of damage. Some of them have ended up getting killed as well, but the Widow Mines are still here, and they're actually headed for the mineral line. Please pay attention, Syre. You're not seeing this right now. I mean, oh, Syre, you're gonna end up losing a lot of drones. Brilliant move here by Sherm, making sure that his opponent can no longer mine on the other end of the map. Command center now once again forced to lift off. A new hatchery has been taken on the other end of the map, but Sherm is trying to secure this positioning here as well with a couple of missile turrets. He still does have that natural, however, and breaking that with a planetary fortress is going to be a very, very tough feat. A couple of drones, however, have indeed been moved across, but at this point, I mean, the Widow Mines are once again going to be able to shoot away at all of those drones, and once more, a lot of drones end up falling. Relatively even losses, though. Apparently, Zerg has now decided that he wants to go straight after that command center. Not sure if that is going to be the smartest move. I think that he may just be able to barely clean this up. It's such a tough decision to make, and yeah, there we go. Eventually, that command center morphed into the planetary does end up falling, but still, a lot of losses there for the Zerg player in blue. Widow Mines have now arrived on the other end of the map once more. They're gonna try and be alright, and I guess that Sherm may very well be looking to, yeah, indeed, land this command center at the, like, I guess this would be the left-hand side of the map. I guess that would normally be like the 5th or the 6th base for either of these players. There's still a couple of SCVs alive though, and the army supplies are still in favor here of the Terran. You gotta keep in mind, a lot of the unit-producing structures are on the other end, and on top of that, there's a bunker here defending all of these supply depots, so he's not gonna be supply blocked just yet. Cyclones, still a couple managed to survive. They're going to be capable of heading inside of the Zerg's main base. They're dealing a lot of damage. These Widow Mines are still going to town as well, and even though Sherm was looking a little rough right there, he's going to be capable of dealing a lot of damage, and he may even be able to get the different kinds of tech here as well that are still available for Zerg. This is going to be a tough feat to come back from. There's still quite a lot of Hydras and Zerglings here. However, Syre does not apparently they made peace with that single missile turret, but he has not really got any unit producing buildings right now anymore. He needs a new spawning pool shortly. He's gonna need, oh my god, look at that. He's gonna need a new spawning pool. He's gonna need a new lair, hydrogen upgrades. He's gonna need a whole lot of new stuff, or where Terran can continuously produce out of the buildings that he still has. I would really like to see a new planetary fortress right here, Sherm. I think you're gonna need it. There's no way you can keep this base alive. There we go. Planetary Fortress does indeed get moved in, or morphed in rather, but Syre has absolutely no idea that this base is up and running. He's looking at the different bases on the other end of the map, but he's assuming that this right here may very well be a mining expansion. He's moving all of his units over towards that base, and I think that there may very well be enough to try and fight this right now. These Widow Mines desperately need to move over towards the 3rd base location of the Zerg, while he's taking down a lot of these buildings, and it's gonna make it a little bit easier right here. If he loses all of this positioning, this is gonna be a very, very tough game. Syre moved in right there with a scouting Zergling to check out exactly what is going on, but he will find out shortly that it's just a single bunker with a couple of units, and that will immediately get shut down. These Marines will not live to tell the tale, and they get shut down very, very quickly. Cyclones, however, still going to town. They're going after the evolution chamber right now. Cleared up the entirety of the main base, but Zerglings and Hydras, they are high DPS units. They deal a lot of damage in a short amount of time, and they're taking down the supply depots and all of the unit-producing structures. Absolutely brilliant move, though. Widow Mines are trying to move onwards. Zerg is not paying attention. This may hurt a lot of his units, and so many of them end up falling for practically nothing. He was preoccupied somewhere else, making a couple of these roaches, trying to expand towards his opponent's natural. And all of a sudden, this could be anyone's game. Sherm, however, currently supply blocked. You gotta keep in mind, with a planetary fortress, he's not gonna be capable of dropping any of the mules. He will need himself another supply depot if he's planning to stay into this game. And at this point, I mean, Zerg has got 12 workers in favor of only 7. He's getting himself that spawning pool once again, and we all know what happens in a short amount of time. Zerg can start overwhelming pretty much all of their opponents if these units end up starting, or basically once they start moving across the map, I guess. Here we go once again though. These Widow Mines, they can get picked off with corrosive biles. Ravager's not paying attention. One of that will get shut down immediately, but Zerg can quickly overwhelm their opponent. You can see the shadow actually right there of that single Ravager apparently floating to the surface, but I mean, The opponent's third base has been taken. The natural has been taken as well. Terran is now mining from, I guess, what would be a 6th base. Finally adding on that supply depot, realizing that he was indeed supply blocked. There's still a single SUV that basically caused all of the shenanigans on the other end. And while he still has a factory, this is going to be a very, very tough game to close out right now for the Terran. I'm going to have to give the favor for like the first time in his entire match here to the Zerg player in blue. He's done a brilliant job at cleaning up all of his opponent's aggression. And I think that the Nydus follow-up was most definitely the smart decision. Now you gotta keep in mind, Terran still has got a really nicely fortified position. Trying to break down a planetary fortress is not an easy feat. And of course, giving Terran too much time can also become an issue because they just simply get so much production up as well after a little while. If Terran, for example, gets a bunch of bio army once again, potentially even could get Stimpak, I mean, this is going to be an extremely solid game for the Terran once more as well. And he's still, you know, in a nicely entrenched position right here. I would really like to see him add on maybe a barracks right now to really like start ramping up their production once more. I guess instead he's just simply going for mass Cyclone, which could be alright as well, but you gotta keep in mind the Zerglings do still have +1 attack. I actually think they may even be at +2 right now. Let's have a quick look at those upgrades. They actually, yeah, they got +2 armor and +1 attack, so that's actually really nice. Ravages, Roaches, of course, do benefit from that as well, and I'm not sure if Cyclones are gonna be cutting it. Zerg is fully aware of exactly what's going on right now. Nice position as well here from that Overlord, keeping tabs of exactly what the Terran player is doing. If he would move out right now, Zerg would be aware of it, but I highly doubt it. He's just simply going to try and set up a new, you know, a new base. I mean, he needs to start mining somewhere. A Zergling moving onwards right there, Planetary Fortress immediately catching a hold of that, but this Zerg army actually is starting to look really, really scary. Hydra then once again taken. We see 2 queens in production now as well. Army counts are heavily in favor here of the Swarm. However, Terran is mining once again. He's got a solid amount of income. He's getting himself those refineries, and this could still be anyone's game. I mean, supply counts more than double in favor here of the Zerg, but they were the exact same earlier on to this match in favor of Terran. Supply depots are being added on, creating a nice little wall there. I like it a lot. If Zerg would try and push in here, the planetary fortress is going to be able to shoot at these forces quite easily, while the supply depots will just simply slow down that advancement. Apparently this Cyclone right here was hunting down an Overlord. A couple of Ravages, however, have made a ballsy move to try and get across the map, and I think this will pay off in dividends, because look at this. He's gonna be able to shoot down all of these, you know, final tech buildings, I suppose, here from the Terran player. I mean, he's got very, very little to do anything with right now. Single starport out, however, still on the other end of the map as well. Apparently this one floated off from the main base over towards, I guess, what normally would be like the 4th or the 5th base position. He's getting himself a single liberator from that, and that's actually pretty smart. He's going to be capable of shooting down potentially at these queens, and potentially also take down a couple of drones with them too. Gotta keep in mind though, there are indeed Ravages out, as well as a whole lot of Hydras here that can potentially be produced with the bank that Zerg currently has. Cyclone's trying to move out, getting a couple of kills. This one already has 8 kills here in total. That one has to tell a couple of stories if he manages to survive for a little while longer. Ravages, however, did make sure that this factory is now officially burning. They took down the last of the buildings here on the other end of the map, and that factory will not stay alive for any longer. It's gonna slowly burn down. There's really nothing to repair it with. However, Sherm, apparently feeling confident enough, is even adding on another command center. I think what Zerg is currently trying to do, while he's dealing with all of this aggression, right? I think what Zerg is currently trying to do is just to build up a massive army and go from there. I think that's probably his best bet as well. Just simply nuke down that command center that is morphed into a planetary fortress. Queen will indeed get taken care of very, very nicely. These Hydras will have to try and maneuver around if they plan on shooting down that Liberator, and eventually indeed they do manage to do so. Very nice little move there by Sherm, or by Syre rather, once again. Terran, however, he's done a good job so far at slowing down the Zerg, right? And really that's the goal. You want to try in this position as a Terran player to get as much time as you possibly can, so you can slow down the advancement of Zerg while building up your own economy once again. 19 minutes into the game, a new barracks does get constructed. Terran is not gonna quite leave this match just yet, but the Ravagers are here and are shooting away at these supply depots. Planetary Fortress, though, it's a very, very menacing tool, in particular when it can be healed up and simply said. I mean, Cyclone still do an awful amount of damage to all of this Roach Ravager Hydra army as well. Liberator still trying to be a pain here, shooting away at whatever it can. I mean, there are a couple of Spore Crawlers there, but it's doing an awful lot of damage. And, you know, the amount of workers that have been killed here by Sherm in this match is absolutely staggering. Beautiful move here, once again picking up an additional 8 kills here on that Liberator and just simply halting down this base, sort of forcing the Zerg here to make a move. If Zerg wants to, you know, defend that base, he's gonna have to return with a couple of units. However, he can also decide to push into the command center right now, into the planetary, and close out this match once and for all. The question is there going to be enough Zerg here to try and overwhelm this base? I'm not entirely convinced about that either. Upgrades are, of course, in favor here of the Zerg player. Apparently, Marines are now being added on as well. Factory is ready to go, and actually, Sherm is slowly building up an army once more. I mean, he's getting himself that command center now. He's going to be capable of, you know, mining from 2 bases here very shortly, and his economy is going to be in favor for the first time in quite a little while. Still hunting down so many of these drones. This single Liberator already at 13 kills. While the Spore Crawler eventually does clean that one up, I mean, that still hurt. That still hurt Zerg a lot. Zerg was slowed down there absolutely brilliantly, and while army supplies are currently 55 to only 14, Sherm is slowly crawling his way back into this match. Engineering Bay added on right now again as well. I think that Sherm is looking to take this one as a planetary as well. Zerg, however, has now got vision of this. The Overlord managed to scout out exactly where that newly acquired expansion was located, and he's got no time right now to morph this one into a planetary. Zerg is trying to move onwards right here. He's moving up the ramp, but I think that this base is an absolutely crucial scout. If Zerg had no clue about this, this could become a massive, massive issue, and Sherm indeed knows it. He's gonna be GGing out of this match, and Syre, even though he got cheesed quite heavily, obtains the victory. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. If you want to see more like this, make sure to first off submit your own replays to replays@LowkoTV. But secondly, make sure you subscribe so you get notifications as soon as next videos get uploaded. Other than that, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile or write, and I will see you in the next one.